the front of the demonstration to make sure that we're in control. So we need to have a large number of students doing that. And what we're going to do is, soon after this meeting, a proportion of the students are going to go up to the front.
Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river! Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river! Palestine will be free! Free, free! Free, free! We'll be free! Free, free! Don't surrender! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 4, 6, 7, 8! Israeli terrorist state! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! What do we want? What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it?
Palestine. Sanctions on Israel. Let's force our government. Show that the British people stand with Palestine. We demand sanctions on Israel. Stop funding the Israeli state. Like take these. Stand with Palestine. Free. Stand with Palestine. End the Israeli occupation. Knock down the apartheid state. We did it with South Africa. You didn't. Yeah.
And our message to the youth, to the British government is clear. Stop arming Israel! Stop arming Israel! Stop arming Israel! Stop arming Israel!
Come on! Palestine! Palestine!
5, 6.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!
We're all Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We're all Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We're all Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We're all Palestinians!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do you want?
Now!
What do you want?
Justice!
What do you want?
Now!
What do you want?
Justice!
What do you want?
Now!
What do you want?
Justice!
What do you want?
Now! Occupation's got to go!
Hey!
Occupation's got to go! What do you want? Justice! What do you want? Now! What do you want? Justice! What do you want? Now! What do you want? Justice! What do you want? Now! What do you want? Free! Palestine! Free! Free! Palestine! Free! Free! Palestine! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation going on! 5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
We are all Palestinians!
We are all free!
We are all
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Can I get everyone's attention, please? Please do not rush the Palestine! Free! Free! Palestine! Free! Free! Palestine! Free! Free! Palestine! Palestine will be free! All Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We are all Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We are all Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We are all Palestinians!
Ain't no billions! Ain't no billions!
We are all Palestinians!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free! trying to say to you guys that from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Long live Palestine.
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 Free, free.
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 Palestine.
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
My voice is going a bit. And if your voice isn't going, you're not shouting loud enough. So, in our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our thousands.
What a crowd you are today. I can't see the end of the march. It is so huge. And I bring greetings. It is heartbreaking to see Palestinian families being thrown out of their homes to make way for Israeli settlers. Yet again, the unjust and illegal occupation of Palestinian lands and the perpetuation of the occupation by Israel are the root cause. The only acceptable and sustainable solution is full implementation. Today, by being here today, you are showing just that the Palestinian people are not alone. The government of apartheid, movement restrictions, land confiscations, forcible transfer of the population, the denial of civil rights are all features of the rottenness of apartheid.
Of a union, the Joint General Secretary of the National Education Union, who's always stood with Palestine, who has fought for the rights for teachers and students to show their solidarity with Palestine. So I want you to make a lot of noise for Kevin Courtney.
What an amazing, amazing demonstration. And 77 of these demonstrations across the country. This is the rebirth of a movement. My name's Kevin Courtney and I'm the Joint General Secretary of the National Education Union. We are the biggest education union in Europe. We're the fourth biggest union in this country. And I am really pleased to be here today in solidarity with the Palestinian people. None of us are free unless all of us are free. So I am very proud to be here today in Solidarity Week. That mobilisation in Glasgow against deportations, that tells you there is a huge movement in this country. We are none of us an island. None of us.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Guys, this next speaker, you will have seen him on your TV screen over the past week, challenging the Israeli ambassador and challenging the false narrative of the mainstream media. This is the Palestinian ambassador to the UK.
Friends, sisters, brothers, I was told yesterday that there will be thousands demonstrating for Palestine. I see tens of thousands. I see tens of thousands. I am told tens of thousands of UK citizens are now the message of defiance. I bring a message of defiance from the people of Palestine. I bring you a message of defiance from Jerusalem, the capital of Palestine. From Jerusalem, the capital of Palestine. Jerusalem, shout to them. Jerusalem, the eternal capital of the state of Palestine. From Gaza, the besieged Gaza, the heroism of Gaza, I bring you a message of anymore. This time, we will not be denied anymore. We are united. United. We are united. United we stand. United we stand. From
to the sea! From the river to the sea! United we stand! We have had enough of oppression, of apartheid, of ethnic cleansing. We have had enough of settler colonialism. That boy Omar is Palestine. Omar is Palestine. Like Omar, Palestine will survive. Like Omar, you will not kill all of us. Like Omar, the people inside 1948 Palestine will continue to survive. And finally, my friends, we have had enough of the world's hollow words, of the double standards, of the game of deceit, only through the dignity of independence, of freedom, of ridding ourselves of all the world. Thank you for standing with us. Free, free Palestine! 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 Free, free Palestine!
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. Perfect, we've got it. Now, he is from FOA, one of the organizers of today. He is Mr. Ismail Patel.
Salam.
You are all incredible, make some noise! We are honest when we say in our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions! Now our next speaker is someone who's always been a friend of the Palestine Solidarity Movement. She's one of the organizers of today's march. And this is Kate Hudson, the General Secretary of the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. Make some noise!
Thanks very much, and that's amazing news about the numbers. You know,
and support what Israel is doing illegally. At the United States Security Council, a resolution was put forward condemning Israeli actions in East Jerusalem, calling for a ceasefire. The United States blocked the resolution. The United States even blocked the UN Security Council from meeting to discuss this. The British government could also do a lot more.
Brothers and sisters, we've just heard that 30 minutes ago, the Al Jalal Tower in Gaza, which houses the BBC and Al Jazeera, has been bombed. This is what Israel does to cover up their crimes, to make sure that no one sees what they're doing. But we see what they're doing, and that's why we're here today. Can I please ask everyone to move down a bit more? There's a real crush down there, and it's not safe. So please, if you can, please move down. And can I also ask if you can make way for people who are deaf to move forward so they can see the interpreters? That would be really helpful, thank you. But please move down a bit.
So please keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, please, people. And push the people further up. There's loads of space up there. Just keep moving up. Let's create a flow. Can you keep pushing that way? Otherwise, there's going to be a crush. Please keep moving forward. Please, can you keep moving? We create.
next speaker is the chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, one of the organizers of today's march. So I want you to make as much noise as you can for Kamal Hawash.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you all for coming out in such numbers. I'm proud to be the chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, but also to be Palestinian from Jerusalem, the capital of Palestine. There is no way that we will accept that the capital of an apartheid state is the holy city of Jerusalem. It is shameful that Israel claims it as its capital. Let's make a lot of noise for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. I would say a few words in Arabic to our brothers and sisters in Palestine, if you'll allow me. إخوتي وأخواتي في فلسطين، من النهر إلى البحر، من غزة إلى رام الله، إلى القدس، إلى حيفا، إلى يافا، إلى غزة مرة أخرى. نرسل لكم هذه الرسالة من لندن. سنستمر بالعمل والتضامن حتى تحصلوا على جميع حقوقكم وأقدمها الحرية وعودة اللاجئين. We heard Western politicians display their total racism against the Palestinian people by saying that Israel has a right to self-defense and to tearing children's bodies apart, but the Palestinians have no right to self-defense. We say to them, we are with them, whatever they decide to do, because they have no choice. They have failed them. They have failed them. Our own Prime Minister here said that he believes in the International Criminal Court, except when it comes to Israel. Why? It should be the first country to be held.
Palestine will be free! Free, free! Palestine! Thank you guys. The next speaker with us today is a Palestinian musician who is involved directly with organizing cultural boycott of Israel. He is Samir Iskander.
As Palestinians across historic Palestine rise against more than 100 years of settler colonialism, against more than 7 decades of forced displacement and ethnic cleansing, against more than 50 years of military occupation in the West Bank and Gaza, and against the brutal siege of Gaza, where we have seen Israel's repeated and ongoing massacres this very week and this very morning. As Palestinians rise across every inch of historic Palestine, we too in the global north and across the world come together to stand in meaningful solidarity with the Palestinian people in historic Palestine and in the diaspora. As Palestinians stand united as an oppressed people resisting Israel's regime of apartheid, and it is apartheid, as Human Rights Watch and the Israeli human rights organization B'Tselem have this year reported, we ask the world to be as courageous as the Palestinian people. It's in our hands. Thank you.
Make some noise! Now our next speaker, you all know him, you all know his music. It is the anthem for the Palestinian movement. And before I introduce him, I want you to do one chant with me that comes from his song. When I say long live Palestine, you say long live Gaza. Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! 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 You know who I'm talking about, it's low key! Make some noise!
Thank you very much. Firstly, I would like you to make some noise for the sister doing the sign language right now. Now, when I say free, free, I want you to say Palestine so loud that they hear you in the Israeli embassy. No, I want you to say Palestine so loud that they hear you in Al-Quds. No, I want you to say Palestine so loud that they hear you in Gaza. Are you with me? Free, free! Palestine! 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 Now Israel has bombed the media tower in Gaza, and you know why? Because it wants to hide its crimes and the camera being pointed back at it. But you know how to stop it. You can stop it. 100,000 people here, every single one of you, tweet right now, post on your Facebook, post on your Instagram, crush the algorithm, keep showing them the truth of what Israel has done to the Palestinian people and others that they border with too. We have seen the call responded to by dock workers in Italy. They have refused to load weapons due for Israel onto ships to use against Palestinians. I am calling to all of the unions in this country. The dock workers refuse to load the weapons. I am calling to the people that work in the factories. You have 10 different sites for Elbit Systems, the Israeli arms company in this country. Refuse to build those weapons of war. Refuse to comply. 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 So when I say long live Palestine, I want you to say long live Gaza. Are you with me? Yeah. This is for Palestine, of course, the capital, Jerusalem. Unarmed people marching to the wall and they're shooting them. Suppression is a question. Resistance is the answer. Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! If Ibrahim Abu Thuraya could resist without a wheelchair, 10-year challenge, tell Reggae we are still here. And tell that killer Netanyahu he should feel fear. The old live through us and guarantee the children will care. Criminal, not invincible, and you know it. Sarmadoon, still sitting and they're stoic. You may not feel us with you when you listen to our poems, but you inspire humanity. Your resistance is heroic. This is for Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for an answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! Long live Palestine! Long live Gaza! Thank you very much.
Representing the Palestinian Forum in Britain, one of the co-organisers of today's march, Zahir Barrawi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. On behalf of the Palestinian Forum in Britain, and on behalf of the Palestinian people living under Israeli occupation, and the Palestinians of Jerusalem and Al-Aqsa Mosque, who continue to stand strong, and the Palestinians of Gaza who stand very bravely in the face of Israeli military aggression, and on behalf of the Palestinians in Haifa and Jaffa and all Palestinians cities occupied 1948, on behalf of them all, I salute you and appreciate your support, solidarity, and stand for truth and justice. And I say to you on behalf of them, shukran, shukran, thank you. We are very proud of you. Dear brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, due to the short available time for me, I will send a few messages. First, I want to assure you that the crime that is being committed against our people in Gaza and in all Palestine is very terrible, but its horror will not shake our confidence that liberation will certainly come and that victory in the end will be ours. And despite the massacres and the widespread killing that Israel continues to commit, the Palestinian people fully realize more than ever that the only effective way towards liberation is by unity and by resisting in all legitimate ways. Even if more martyrs fell and more properties were destroyed for the cause of freedom and for Jerusalem to remain the capital of Palestine. Free Palestine. Third point, we know as Palestinians that we are facing one of the strongest military machines in the world, backed by the majority of the global powers. However, we will never surrender and will never accept to live in a humiliation. We have resolved to continue our struggle until victory is achieved, liberation is attained, and we return to our homes and secured homes, and whether that is will be now or in the near future. Listen down. I want to tell you something. I want to send a message to our people in Gaza. To the glory of dignity, pride, and steadfastness, and to the people of Jerusalem who face the most appalling forms of apartheid and racism, and face the forced Judification of the Holy City. From London, we salute you and acknowledge that you are indeed the most trustworthy keepers of Jerusalem and the holy sites. And to Boris Johnson, 1 minute or less, I say, we as Palestinians will never forget that the reason behind our suffers is Britain, this United Kingdom, and this government. Finally, I want to say something to the ambassador behind me. The ambassador behind me, in order to tell Netanyahu, the leader of the gang, the terrorist government, the occupying state of Israel will never enjoy peace as long as it continues its aggression of occupation against Palestine. And Jerusalem shall remain an icon of peace and will never become a base for Zionist racist gangs. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Nakba happened in 1948, and we watch a Nakba unfolding in Palestine every single day. We stand here today in our growing numbers to send the message to the people of Al-Aqsa, of Jerusalem, of Sheikh Jarrah, of Gaza, of all of Palestine, that we stand in solidarity, we stand in unity behind you. We salute you. We salute you for facing the ongoing siege, displacement, and violent dispossession. We send you a message of admiration for your courage, fortitude, and resolve. The young and old people of Palestine are teaching the rest of the world that when truth is on your side, you mustn't fear anyone. You mustn't fear anything. It doesn't matter if you're facing the most heavily armed or sophisticated armies in the world. Your resistance will defeat them and expose their brutality. You. And I want you to know that without your presence, each one of you, without your presence, without your voices, without sharing the images, without exposing those crimes, Israeli would commit massacre after massacre whilst portraying this fake image of a democratic power. You expose them. You expose them because the thing that Israeli fears the most is its image in front of the world. So keep strong, keep going, keep sharing the images, educate those around you, because Palestinians have a right to exist, resist, return, exist, resist, return, exist, resist, return.
Welcome to the stage, Yaman, Jannah, and Abdurrahman.
Now, the story of this poem, which was written by Michael Rosen in 2014, it was put on Israeli radio as a advert, the names of the children that died in Gaza in 2014 campaign. The state of Israel banned that from playing on the radio. And the reason it did that is because if the people hear the names of these children, then they understand the reality of the society within which they live. So I've been asked to read this poem by Michael Rosen, Don't Mention the Children. Don't mention the children. Don't name the dead children. The people must not know the names of the dead children. The names of the children must be hidden. The children must be nameless. The children must leave the world having no names. No one must know the names of the dead children. No one must say the names of the dead children. No one must even think that the children have names. People must understand that it would be dangerous to know the names of the dead children. The people must be protected from knowing the names of the Rahman are going to read out the names of the children that have passed so far in Gaza. Please make them feel welcome, for one day they too shall return. Following the list of names, we'll have a 1-minute silence, okay?
Yamin Abu Hatab, 5 years old. Bilal Abu Hatab, 10 years old. Yusuf Abu Hatab, 11 years old. Abdurrahman Al-Hadidi, 8 years old. Suhaib Al-Hadidi, 14 years old.
Bashar Sammour, 17 years old. Yazan Al-Masri, 2 years old. Ibrahim Al-Masri, 11 years old. Yahya Khalifa, 14 years old. Lina Shrair, 16 years old. Mustafa Ubaid, 17 years old. Ibrahim Hasnain, 16 years old. Muhammad Sulaiman, 16 years old. Hussein Hamad, 11 years old. Bara Al-Gharable, 6 years old. Rahaf Al-Masri, 10 years old. Marwan Al-Masri, 7 years old. Hamza Ali, 12 years old. Hala Al-Rifi, 14 years old. Zaid Al-Talbani, 5 years old. Ammar Al-Ammour, 11 years old. Hamad Al-Ammour, 13 years old. Khalid Al-Qanou', 17 years old. Lina Isa, 14 years old. Amir Al-Tanani, 7 years old. Ahmed Al-Hawajri, 14 years old. Adham Al-Tanani, 4 years old. Muhammad Al-Tanani, 3 years old. Ismail Al-Tanani, 8 years old. Muhammad Abu Diya, 1 year old. Hur Al-Zamli, 2 years old. Ibrahim Al-Rantisi, 1 year old. Fawziya Faris, 17 years old. Islam Al-Attar, 8 years old. Amir Al-Attar, 6 years old. Buthayna Ubaid, 6 years old. Abdullah Jawda, 13 years old. Muhammad Al-Attar, 1 year old. Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Thank you very much.
May Allah reunite us all in Jannah, inshallah, and may we never forget the people who have died in Gaza, in Palestine. Next speaker is the former National Black Student Officer for the NUS. They are the MP for Streatham. It is Belle Rivero. Addy, please make some noise and welcome to the stage.
Free! Which one? This one. Free! 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 And I'm proud to be here today, and as we commemorate the Nakba, I'm proud that so many people have come out, stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine. Yes, we are calling for a ceasefire, but ultimately, we need peace. Ultimately, we need a two-state solution, because every single time unrest begins, I look out and I look at the media and I see what's happening. I think, will this be the time? Will this be the time that Gaza is decimated?
Palestinian
Palestinian people. Make some noise!
Hi everybody. As last speaker said, I'm a comedian, but today is not really a time for comedy, a time for laughter. So over many years, have been an MC. I've hosted many events, Glastonbury and so on. But this is the best, this is the most fantastic event that I have ever MC'd. And I want to introduce you now to the next speaker. I don't think the current leader of the opposition is here, at least I haven't seen the little shitbag. Here's the real leader of the opposition, Jeremy Corbyn!
Thank you, friends. Thank you, all of the 100,000 of us that are here today in support of the people of Palestine. You heard the tragedy of the deaths of children in Gaza and on the West Bank. Think what it's like to be a mother or a father and see a building bombed in front of you, knowing your family is in there and you can do nothing to save them and just mourn them for the rest of your life. Look at those huge buildings in Gaza, systematically and scientifically destroyed by aerial bombardment. I have been in those buildings during visits to Gaza. I've visited human rights groups, mental health groups, media groups, and people living in their apartments in those blocks. They too have now been destroyed. I was talking to my friend Mustafa Barghouti this morning in Ramallah. He sends his greetings, his solidarity and his support. And tonight I'm doing a discussion with him on Double Down News about the global impact of what the Israeli attacks are doing. But he also pointed out that the killings on the West Bank are continuing all the time as well, as the Israeli ground forces continue their operations. Yes, they're trying to clear the Palestinian people out of Sheikh Jarrah, a place I have visited and seen the activities of the settlers, as they're doing all over the West Bank. We're here today because the injustice towards the Palestinian people must end. And it's our global voices that will help give Stucco comfort and support to the people alongside those settlements in Gaza, all over the West Bank, in East Jerusalem, who are suffering at the present time. And so we've got a message to our government which claims, yes, that its foreign policy is dictated by human rights concerns. Liars! Well, in the case of Israel, they're dealing with a government that is in breach of the 4 Geneva Protocols, that is in breach of UN resolutions, that is acting illegally in so many ways. So I say end all military cooperation of any sort with Israel. And I say to the Biden administration, elected with such huge and diverse support across the United States, you too must stand up and say to Israel, stop now, and we will end all military cooperation. And I say to all my colleagues in Parliament
and in the Labour Party and all in the trade and all of the trade. And I conclude with this because there are many other good speakers who want to follow me. I follow this with 3 very short points. End the occupation now. End all the settlements now and withdraw them. End the siege of Gaza now. And let us never forget, there are people in refugee camps in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Syria, and a Palestinian diaspora all over the world. Let them have their rights too. Next week we'll be back here, and we'll be back again and again. What we need is a massive demonstration of the people of this country to say, we want peace in the Middle East, we want peace in every country, we want peace for the people of Palestine. Thank you.
One more big shout for Jeremy!
This is honestly looking really great. We really appreciate it. And 150,000! Let's make some noise for that, guys! Woo! Let's get back into it with our speakers, shall we? Let's start with a few. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Alright, I think we're ready to go. Now, our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, he has been at the forefront. Is everyone okay? Someone's collapsed. Can we get a medic to the center? If they can bring you to the front, that would be good. Keep hydrated, guys. Everyone stay safe, please. Okay, are we good to go? So our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, he's been at the forefront of the student activism in London and across the UK for multiple years. He is from Olive, the Palestinian student organisation. Let's make some noise. It's Yahya Abu Sido.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, over the last 2 weeks, we've watched events unfold in Palestine. We've been watching the creation of a new leadership, a leadership of civil society in Palestine that's calling for an end to the oppression and occupation that they've experienced throughout their entire life. Calling for an end to the intergenerational trauma, an end to the system of apartheid, and an end to the ethnic cleansing of a people who have spent the last 73 years being forced to leave their homes. In 1948, in the Nakba, the world stood silent as millions of Palestinians were expelled from their homes to establish the State of Israel. And today in 2021, things haven't changed much. We're still experiencing a Nakba. 6 families have been ordered by the Supreme Israeli Court to be evicted from their homes. One of those families, in fact, are sharing half of their home already with Israeli settlers who've already taken by force half of their house. We are at the precipice of history. We are at the precipice of progress. We are at the precipice of unity. And to make sure this happens, we all have to play our part. Firstly, we must accept that we are following the lead of our brothers and sisters in Palestine who are fighting the hard battle. Secondly, we must make sure that we have a message and a narrative that aligns with their objectives and their fight. And thirdly, we must take whatever action we can to put pressure on our government on our MPs to speak up for the Palestinian people. This is part of a greater international pressure. And finally, we need to make this regular. We need to show up to protests weekly. We need to make the momentum not stop. We need to keep on showing our Palestinian brothers that they're getting footage of this. They're seeing the numbers. They are being fully supported by all of us. And that is our role to play. Because if they don't see how much the world is willing to stand with them, then this could all go in vain. We need to continue supporting them. We need to continue putting the effort to try and come to these protests every week. So I really do hope as many of you as possible to come next week. Israel's gonna try and minimize this entire thing now and make it just about Gaza. But I want you all to ensure that we control the narrative. This isn't just we don't want just a ceasefire. We want an end to the occupation. We want an end to the eviction of Palestinians. It does not stop at Gaza. It does not stop at Gaza. It continues to Jaffa, Akka, Jenin, Safad, Lod, Jerusalem, Al-Quds. It does not end at Gaza. Thank you very much, and I hope I see you all next week.
Jewish Voice for Labour, Jewish Voice for Peace, Jewish Socialist Group, Jews for Justice for Palestinians, Jewish Network for Palestine, Independent Jewish Voices, Judas, Namod, Vashti. Israel represents none of us because we are always with the oppressed, never the oppressor. For the first time since 1948, Israel's internal stability is fractured. And as Jews, I finish with this. We make this call. Palestinian lives matter. Now is the time for Palestinians to breathe. Now is the time for freedom. Now is the time for justice. Now is the time for Palestine.
Here today on behalf of my party, Sinn Féin. The people of Ireland send their solidarity to everyone gathered here today. Sinn Féin has a proud record of standing alongside our Palestinian brothers and sisters. We stand with them notes produced in the occupied territories from entering Ireland. We also call for the swift recognition of the state of Palestine. 40 years ago, Palestinian political prisoners in Nafar prison sent their solidarity to the Irish hunger strikers in the H blocks of Long Kesh. Today, our movement returns that solidarity. Bobby Sands, who led that strike and was elected a Member of Parliament while on hunger strike, said before his death in May 1981, "Let our revenge be the laughter of our children." This is our wish for the Palestinian people. Solidarity to the people of Palestine, as we say.
Without the support of our government, without the arms that it sends to Israel. And I'm proud to introduce our next speaker, who's from the campaign against arms trade, that have campaigned against the arms trade, against the weapons that are being sent to Israel and to despotic regimes to kill people. So please, please give a loud welcome to Dana Abu Jabin.
I stand here before you as a proud Palestinian. The brutality and violence that the world is currently witnessing is the normality for people living under occupation. It should not take a bombardment to shine a light on the horrors of occupation or the calculated daily cruelty inflicted by Israeli forces on Palestinians. But it's not only Israel's military power that is responsible for the suffering. It is also the support and indifference of world powers. When we look at Downing Street, have allowed them, we stand with the people of Palestine.
Okay guys, our next speaker is the MP for Poplar and Limehouse. And since coming in, she has continued to stand united with the Palestinian people and with the cause. And we know that's a difficult task. So please welcome her to the stage. It's Afsana Begum.
That's a perfect.
Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for being here today and showing solidarity with the people of Al-Aqsa, the people of Jerusalem and the people of Gaza. The footage of communities being attacked and planes targeting civilians are nothing short of horrifying. Innocent lives are being lost because of the occupation of Palestine. In Gaza, people are living under siege, without access to food, essential medical supplies, water, and they're unable to work. In Sheikh Jarrah, well, what we're seeing there doesn't feel to me that can be fully encompassed. It's within the phrase forced evictions. Families are being in line with international law, including the Geneva Accords and the votes of the UN General Assembly. The illegal settlement program and the illegal occupation must end. Over in Parliament, our government needs to know this. Justice expects you to join the efforts to secure the end of the expulsion of Palestinians from their homes and to stand with the international community in upholding basic human rights. There must be an immediate recognition of the state of Palestine. And what's more, the UK government must not remain complicit in the atrocities and the military assault on Gaza through the arms trade. The whole world, the whole East London, Poplar and Limehouse and all over Tower Hamlets are here marching today with this clear message. Because we know that in the UK our struggle for human rights and freedom and liberation are intertwined with the Palestinian struggle. And it's with everyone struggling for liberty and against oppression globally, whether that's in India or in Kashmir, in Colombia or in France, or in the UK here or in the United States. We must stand together against oppression together, whether that's the Black Lives Matter protests or the campaigns against the policing bill seeking to embolden police forces against us.
Palestine, free, free, Palestine, free, free, Palestine, free, free, Palestine.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Make some noise for Afsana Begum! Let me say no justice, no peace, no justice, no justice, no justice, no justice. And let that be a message to Boris Johnson. That's not just a chant, that's a promise. Now last year,
it's with the deepest solidarity that I bring this message from Black Lives Matter UK. Like the Black Panthers once said, you see that wants to call themselves an anti-racist, say that if you're an anti-racist, you must denounce Israel. Tell them to be an anti-racist means understanding that Palestinian resistance will happen by any means necessary. When they try to say that violence is not the answer, when they try to tell us that violence is not the answer, we should ask them, how did the Zulus resist settler colonialism in South Africa? How did the Mau Mau resist settler colonialism in Kenya? How did the Arawaks resist it in the Caribbean? How did the Apache resist it in North America? The Maori in New Zealand, they resisted it with arms. When they say no to violence, and they say, what about the occupiers' feelings? We tell them, Bonda! Bonda! We tell them, as James Baldwin once wrote, Israel was not created for the salvation of the Jews. Israel was created for the salvation of Western interests. To be an anti-racist, look, I want to make some noise. Hey, in Italy, the dock workers, they blockaded the weapons from going onto the ships. That's what we